Dracula, the legendary bloodsucker, first appeared in 1897 through the Irish writer Bram Stoker, sending Victorian society into fear and panic. Naturally, film adaptations soon followed. Many will say that the 1931 version starring Bela Lugosi was the first adaptation of the Transylvanian vampire. However, experts consider a German film, Nosferatu, a symphony of horror from 1922, to be the first adaptation. Both are partially correct. While the Bela Lugosi film is the first official and faithful adaptation, Friedrich Murnau's German film about the vampire Nosferatu, who bears the name Count Orlok, is essentially a kind of plagiarism of Stoker's novel. But the first actual film appearance of Dracula is a completely different movie, Dracula Halala. This lost film actually marks the very first appearance of the legendary Count from Eastern Europe. As the unusual title suggests, the film comes from Hungary. The title roughly translates to Dracula's Death. Why have we never heard of this film? Well, as hinted earlier, the movie is lost. However, there are some surviving photos and a summary of the story, and it's actually quite fascinating. Mary Land, a poor seamstress, visits her dying father in an insane asylum. There she meets a patient who insists that he is the immortal Dracula. Mary's father dies, and she is invited to spend the night in the asylum. During the night, Dracula kidnaps Mary and takes her to his castle, forcing her to participate in a wedding ceremony. At the end of the ceremony, Mary uses a cross to repel Dracula, who returns to the castle. Mary is found by locals and taken home to a doctor. After a few days of treatment, the doctor must leave to tend to an injury elsewhere. On the way, he is led on a strange and dangerous route, and his driver admits that he was bribed by a man matching Dracula's description to guide him. Back at Mary's house, a fallen lamp sets her room on fire, forcing her to flee. At this point, Mary wakes up back in the asylum, unsure whether her ordeal was real or just a dream. The patients gather in the asylum's garden, where one of them prepares a loaded revolver. Looking for a chance to prove his immortality, Dracula ends up being struck in the heart by the bullet and is killed. George, Mary's fiancé, comes to the asylum to take her home. As Dracula's corpse is carried by some attendants, a notebook titled Diary of My Immortal Life and My Adventures falls from his pocket, and a terrified Mary instructs George to throw it away.